Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Demo In Diaspora. My name is still remain Ademola. I'm your host at Demo In Diaspora. Today we continue the episode on Osun State Governorship Election that 2026 that was held on the 15th of August. In our previous episode one, I gave you a full results outcome, and I promise that I will do a thorough analysis of the result in the next episode, which is this episode 2. So please continue with us as we go into the full analysis of the result. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share, and also like and comment on our products. In every situation, we make sure that we provide you the best analysis and before information so that you can be well enlightened about politics and any other issues that we discuss about Nigeria or any part of the world. Please bear with us as we continue into the presentation. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, now let's go into the presentation titled Osun State Governorship Election 2026 Result Analysis, Ademola Adeleke Triumph. I've given you the result in the first episode, as I said. So let's go directly into the analysis of the results. In this episode, I will be giving you a thorough analysis of each of the outcome of the result. Let's summarize. It goes thus. In the election, Ademola Adeleke of Accord Party had 511,067 votes, which represent 51.88% of the total valid vote. Bola Oyebamiji of APC had 444,815, representing 45.15% of the total valid vote. While Najeem Salaam of ADC had 17,180 votes, representing 1.74% of the total vote. These are the leading three candidates. The other candidates, 13 of them, 12 of them, because there are 15 candidates altogether. The 12 other candidates altogether scored 12,057 votes, representing 1.22% of the total valid vote. And the whole total valid vote is summed up as 985,119 votes. This is the outcome. It's very funny that the third person came a distant third with only 1.7%. His vote is even more than the other 12 put together, which is 12,057 votes compared to Najeem Salam's 17,180 votes, representing 1.2%, 1.22%. So, which the other 12 parties really need to consider if they are really truly are represented in Osun State. This is the essence when we are talking about a one party or two party or what is in Osun State. There are only two parties and one legged the other party, which we can call the ADC. So in essence, there are only three parties in Osun State. All the other 12 parties have no representation or anything to show for their presence in the state. Now, let's look at the result now and see what does this result mean for Osun State and the parties altogether. Now, let's look at the representation at the senatorial. The senatorial district, there are three senatorial districts in Osun State, which are Osun West, Osun East, Osun Central, and Osun East. In Osun West, Ademola Adeleke had 188,952, which represents 54.75% of the total vote, valid vote in that senatorial district, while APC Bola Oyebamiji had 143,997 votes, representing 41.73% of the vote. In that senatorial district alone, Adeleke margin of victory is 44,965. That is the difference between his vote and that of Oyebamiji is 44,955. This represents about 67.9% of the total winning margin. We will go into that winning margin, but just in Osun West, the winning margin in Osun West alone is 44,955. This is massive, and this have a serious effect on the total victory of Ademola Adeleke. In Osun Central, Ademola Adeleke of Accord Party at 169,164, representing 49.85% of the total valid vote from that senatorial district, while Bola Oyebamiji of APC had 162,094 votes, representing 47.80% of the valid vote in that senatorial district. The margin of victory for Adeleke is very close, which is very small, which is 7,070 votes. Adeleke won Osun Central Senatorial District by 7,070 votes, which is just about 10.7% of the total valid vote. Now, in Osun East, Ademola Adeleke had 152,951 votes, representing 50.83% of the vote, while Bola Oyebamiji of APC had 138,724, representing 46.10% of the total valid vote. The margin of victory for Adeleke is 14,227, 14,227, representing 21.4% of the total valid vote. In essence, throughout the state, Ademola Adeleke had 511,067 votes, representing 51.88%, while Bola Oyebamiji of APC had 444,815 votes, representing 45.15%. And that means the level of victory of Ademola Adeleke is 66,252 votes. If you look at this 66,252 votes, is the summation of the difference. 44,000, almost 45,000 out of that 16,000 come from Osun Central, Osun West Senatorial District. Also we have followed by 14,000 from Osun East Senatorial District. The margin of difference, the vote margin is very, very small in Osun Central Senatorial District. This shows you Now, if we look at the margin of victory even in Osun Central and the margin of victory in Osun East, and we look at the total number of local government that were won, we will find out that let's for instance, in Osun Central, Ademola Adeleke won 7 local governments. Out of that small margin of 7,070 votes, while Bola Oyebamiji only won 3 local government in Osun Central Senatorial District. While in Osun East Senatorial District, with the 14,000 vote margin, 14,227 vote margin, the two of them had 5-5 winning victory. Ademola Adeleke won 5 local government, while Bola Oyebamiji also won 5 local government. This is very significant. We will tell you, we will come into full analysis of this, why even when you are even have a marginal win, you can still win more local government than where you have a lot of differences, margin, a higher margin of victory. Now, let's go into, before we go into that, look at, let's now explain the key information from that. A clear and legitimate victory for Adeleke with 51.88% of the vote and a margin of 66,252. That margin is very wide, though in a contest of almost 1 million valid votes, this is not too much of a bet. It's a convenient bet. It's not a wipe-off. It's not a landslide victory, but it's a comfortable win. While APC remained formidable, first with 444,815 votes, representing 45% of the vote, nearly half of the electorate voted against the winner, which means even though Ademola Adeleke won by 51.8%, but actually he also, that let us say 52, but that means 48% of the people of Osun State also voted against him. So it's not it's a victory and it's acceptable, but also there are a lot of opposition against his candidacy from the voters, which almost split 50-50. Victory was highly concentrated in Osun West, especially the Ede axis. Now, as I explained earlier, the level of victory Adeleke had in the 3 senatorial districts is more pronounced in Osun West senatorial district. Even though the 3 contestants, both Ademola Adeleke, Bola Oyebamiji, and Najeem Salaam, the 3 of them come from that senatorial district, that is from Osun Southwest. And yet, Ademola Adeleke was able to edge them above with so much of a margin of almost 45,000 votes in that senatorial district. And this is what, and most of this come from Ede, especially Ede South and Ede North. We will talk more about this bulk vote that come from Ede that gave Ademola Adeleke such a very powerful victory over Bola Oyebamiji. Osun Central was the real battleground, won by Ademola Adeleke won by only 2.09 percentage points, which is only 7,070 votes. That means that is more, the Osun Center is much clearly free a battleground zone where there is fair competition and there is lesser bulk vote that come from that area, which means it's a level playground unlike Osun West senatorial district. While Osun East is evenly split at local government level, that is, Ademola Adeleke had 5, and Bola Oyebamiji also have 5 local government, showing a structurally competitive district. That is also show fairly structurally competition between the two, which shows a good battleground, but not so in Osun West senatorial district, especially in the 2 major local government in Ede, which is Ede South and Ede North. The third party vote of 1.7% is small, but could be influential to future tight race. That is, even though significantly in this election, the vote of Najeem Salaam or even the other 12 contestants doesn't have much effect. But with closeness of election, especially if this vote is evenly contested in Osun Southwest as it was contested in Osun Central and Southeast, the vote will have even been more, and this vote may even have effect on the outcome of the election. Now, in the total, Accord had 19 local governments with a 63.3 vote, while that is Ademola Adeleke of Accord won 19 local government, while Bola Oyebamiji of APC won 11 local government with 36.7% of the vote. I mean, that is 36.7% of the local government. That is with Ademola Adeleke 51%, he won 63.3% of the local government, which is 19. Whereas Bola Oyebamiji, that has almost 45% of the vote, only had 11 local government. This is not really reflect the performance and the allocation of the local government. That is why politics or political structuring is not totally mathematics in itself, because it depends on the logistic strategy and how you able to maneuver yourself in the election, organize yourself. I will go details into that later in my analysis. Now, let's look at this. The strength and weakness of each of the party. Okay, before I go into that, although I've already said that Ademola Adeleke won 11 local governments, while Bola Oyebamiji won 11. It's very close, but still is a good victory for Ademola Adeleke. Now, let's look at the strength and weakness of each of the party. Accord strength have strong personal political brand. Now, Ademola Adeleke has exemplified himself and also has been shown himself as very likable and approachable by Osun State. So his personality helped him a lot, especially when he defected from PDP, which was more or less a bigger party and a structured party, to a relatively unknown and a small party of Accord, less than 6 months before the election. He was able to carry the structure of PDP along with him, and the people are able to recognize him on his own personality. He was given that vote on personal recognition. This matters a lot in politics, It shows people that need to be able to be amiable and approachable and very accountable to the people. Exceptional performance in Osun. In Osun West, he had that which with the same local government for all the three of them, but he performed exceptionally well. Dominance of the Ede axis. The Ede axis is a very big factor. Why is other party unable to have access in Ede South and Ede North? What are responsible for the wide margin? Why especially Ademola, Bola Oyebamiji was unable to close mark and manage or reduce the level of victory of Adeleke in Osun, in Osun, Ede South and Ede North. What are responsible for this? But Adeleke was able to shut the gates against all other parties and as well as monopolize the vote in Osun South and Osun North. We won majority of the local government, which is 19 out of 30, and also have 51.8% statewide. A clear majority, yes, very clear. There's no doubt about it. He won more than 50% of the vote. It's not that close, but he won comfortably. That means more than half of the people of Osun State were able to say, yes, we want him. Even though about 48 or 49%, 42% of the 48% of the people voted against him, but it was able to get at least almost 52% of Osun people on his side. And he won across all the three districts. He had victory in all the, irrespective of the margin. He had won Osun West with a wide margin. He won Osun Central with a very small margin. And he also won Osun East with a comfortable margin as well. So he showed himself that he has a widespread appeal across the whole state. Now, what is his weakness? Osun Central advantage is very narrow. Which means this place should have been somewhere for the Osun Central should have been a district that Oyebamiji should have won. But Adeleke was not only able to close mark him, but also edge him above. If you look at our projection in our prediction of the election, these are areas that we have said that are leaning towards Oyebamiji. But Ademola Adeleke was able to walk and close marking and narrowly edge him out, flipping the result in his favor as much as against Oyebamiji. Victory depends heavily on Osun West. As I said earlier on, he relied without Osun West, especially without Ede North and South, Adeleke may not have won that election as we have seen on this outcome. Nearly half of the voters back the opposition. This, I said, yes, but it still has more than half of the people. In a competitive election, that shows you that this election was very competitive, was very fair, and also was very much well spread, and it's not dominated by Adeleke or APC. So there seemed to be a fair contest that took place on August 15, 2026, in Osun State Governorship Election. What is the what are the strength of APC Bola Oyebamiji? It has big vote base of 44,875,815 votes. This represents 45.15%. It's not a bad outing, but it's very disappointing. But it shows that it's not a wipeout. And that means he put up a good fight, but unfortunately, Ademola Adeleke was better off and also was able to gather more votes than him. Even though Bola Oyebamiji won 11 local governments across the state also, his strong pocket in Osun East and part of Osun Central. As I said earlier on, he did perform well, especially in Osun Central by close marking with only 7,070 votes difference, whereas is also be able, even though Osun, to be honest, I will go into Osun East, why he lost Osun East, which is supposed to be for him to win. These areas, we will go into it in details later. It remained a highly competitive. APC remained highly competitive, as well as Bola Oyebamiji. Also, it has a very positive, if APC can work with themselves in the future, they have a possibility of making large room for growth, and they need to sit up and address what exactly went wrong. Weakness. There are weaknesses. APC and Bola Oyebamiji could not overcome Osun West's advantage. This is where they fail to monitor and to police and to reduce the margin of victory of Ademola Adeleke in Osun West, especially in Ede South and Ede West, Ede North. If they have addressed and close mark and manage the level of victory, they may not necessarily win Ede, but the level of margin of victory is too wide to surmount in the overall margin of vote that was cast. They lost the statewide popular vote by 68,252 votes. In the overall vote, Ademola Adeleke edged out Bola Oyebamiji by 66,252 votes. 45,000 of these come from Ede South and North. He also, Oyebamiji and APC failed to convert competitive local governments into enough statewide vote, especially in Osun Central and Osun East. There are areas that are very competitive that they should have won based on the projection and the positive bet. A lot of factors work against them that make them not be able to produce the desirable vote that should have put them above Ademola Adeleke. In this, I will go further. The path to the future, I will address that in the next episode, where we will talk more about the future, what the future has for Osun State and the two parties. But in the meantime, let's look at the issue. I will also look at this. The bottom line is Adeleke won, and he won comfortably. And there's no doubt about that. And he has that advantage. And one thing that, yes, I said I will address the issue And let me look at the controversy also. Look at this issue about Ede, how Ede was able to give Adeleke the victory. Ede North and Ede South had 44,113 vote margin. Out of the 68% of the vote margin that Adeleke had, Ede gave Adeleke, out of the total vote margin, Adeleke 40, Ede South and Ede North represents 68% of that winning margin. 68%. These two local governments alone gave Adeleke that winning margin that make him become governor of the state. How was it possible? How did APC allow this to possible? What necessitated this? Now, let me go into the issue in that area. The behind the screen issue that we need to understand. In election of Osun State, there are a lot of issues that work against Bola Oyebamiji of APC. The party did not go into the election in one family. They deceive themselves. They don't show love to each other, and everything started from the primary. The president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was actually interested in accepting the request of Governor Ademola Adeleke to join APC when he knew that PDP circumstances may not provide him the opportunity to contest the election. But the party big wigs, out of their own self-interest and personal ambition, oppose this gesture by Ademola Adeleke to embrace APC as a platform, and that is what drive him to go into Accord Party. Why did they do this? Because they believe that they can win and they can beat Ademola Adeleke because of their personality, because they think they have the grassroots support. But did they bring the grassroots support on the 15th of August 2026? Absolutely no. Because the area where all these big wigs that think that they are somebody that they can beat, they didn't come out because they failed to win the nomination for the governorship. Especially Omisore from Ife, which is the Southeast Senatorial District. Omisore always carried the Southeast Senatorial District with him. He has the power to deliver Southeast Osun East Senatorial District, but he failed to support Governor. He failed to support Bola Oyebamiji with his body and soul. Even you can see this during the final rally of the APC in Osogbo a few days to the election. Yes, the party did everything to give Bola Oyebamiji support, but the only thing is all this can only be possible if the local branch are there to utilize that support to win. The federal influence was there, but not the federal might. The President Bola Ahmed actually gave out a free affair and allow the election to be contested without any molestation. The other factors that also work against APC is the issue of violence. Violence actually scared a lot of people. A lot of people were killed before the election. A lot were maimed, and there were intimidation from approaching. This is why I question the bulk vote that come from Ede South and Ede North. This means they were done, and because of the intimidation of the voters for other contestants from having any inroad into that local government. The two local government of Ede South and Ede North were they blocked through intimidation, through violence, and through other means of gratification. There is also issue about vote buying. There was a lot of money that was spent on buying the vote, and a lot of people were also arrested. People were also being conveyed from other local government, other states to come and vote in Osun. Some were caught. What about those that were not caught? These elections look to be fair, but is it actually fair? Is it actually free? But we need to learn from this and improve on it. The government of now, Ademola Adeleke has won, but will he maintain peace? Will things come back to the status quo? Will there be peace and harmony in Osun State after all this? We need to make sure that life is more sacrosanct than any vote, than any ambition of any politician. Killing of people should cease, and this should not be encouraged. This is my take on Demo In Diaspora on the election and analysis of Osun State that went on the 15th of August 2026. Thank you for your patience. Please subscribe, like, and share, and comment on this broadcast. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.